Now let's go to Google Calendar. To access Google Calendar, go to google.ca, go to the right hand corner under Google Apps, and press Calendar. After a few seconds, this page will load. In the top right hand corner, I can pick from a day option, where it just shows the events in my day, week, month, and even year if I want to. Then I also have the scheduling option, which just shows events that I have regardless of day or time, and a custom option, in this case 6 days. So let's go to month, because I think this looks the best. If I want to create an event, you go to the bottom right corner and press that plus sign. Then here I can type in a title and set the date and time. I can also set it to last the all day if it's an all day event, and if it's a repeating event, I can choose the correct option here. If the event has a location, I can add it here. And if the event is not physical but rather conference call digitally online, then I can add a Hangouts Meet chat or a Hangouts Meet option, which I'll cover in a new video afterwards. If I press Manage Details, it'll give me the link here that will be sent to all my guests that I invite. So if I go to that link once the event is on, then this link will connect all the guests to each other through online conference. Here I can add notifications, so Google can notify me before the event occurs, so many days or weeks before. And also you can also set minutes and hours here as well. Here I can set my calendar, so if I had more than one calendar, then I could pick from here, and I can pick my event color here as well. I can set if I'm busy or free during this time, and my default visibility, so whether this event is private, which means only I and the guests that I select can see it, or public, which means anyone can see it. And down here I can select the description. On the right side, I can select guests, so I can select as many guests as I would like. So let's say I select 2 guests, and I can allow the guest to modify event, invite others, and see guest list. So I can pick any or all of them. So let's say I'm going to delete that. Let's say I want this to be an all-day event tomorrow, and I'll just save that, which you do by going to the middle top section. Invitations to guests. So I don't want to disturb them, so don't send. But in your case, sending would be a good idea. So here you can see, here's my event. If I click on it, it gives me all the details here. On the left side, you can see all my calendars. So here's my personal calendar, birthdays and reminders calendar, and lastly, here's Google's Holidays in Canada calendar. So I can set these calendars to display different things instead of everything being a part of one calendar. So if I don't want to display, for example, birthdays or reminders or holidays, I can just have my own test email here and another one that I created for today as well. So I can just have my own personal events show up. Here I can search and add a coworker's calendar. So if I select anyone here, and I click on them and add them, for example, David's, then I can actually see his events that he has made public on my own calendar. And if I don't want to see it anymore, I just deselect or exit, which removes his name from my list. Here I can add new calendars, which means either a new calendar such as birthday and personal calendar, like you could add another personal calendar, or something that's really interesting is browse calendars of interest. So here I can add a holidays calendar through, as you can see, there are many options, or sports. So let's say I like baseball, Major League Baseball, and the Toronto Blue Jays. So I can select them. And now if I go back, then here you can see all the games that the Toronto Blue Jays are playing this month. And now let's say I don't want to see this anymore. I just go and press the X button, and now it's removed. Lastly, there are the settings menu. So if I go to settings, then it gives this list. Let's go through some of them. Event settings is basically the default event selections, so the default duration of the event, the default guest permissions, so whether they can modify event, etc., automatically add invitations or not, and things like that, which you can see on your own afterwards. Here I can also choose whether I want to show weekends on my calendar or just go Monday to Friday, show declined events, and so on. Earlier I also showed the custom calendar, so here I'll go back. So if I go here, then here it says 6 days. If I go back to settings and I go down, then I can actually set, instead of 6 days, for example, I can set 4 days, and that's my custom calendar view. Here I can set scheduling, so if I'm working Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. job, then I can warn people when they invite me to events outside of these hours, if this is my work email. So for you, that may or may not be used. So those were the main things in Google Calendar. If you would like to use Google Calendar on your phone, you can download the Google Calendar app and sign in, and so you can then make and publish and view events on your phone as well as your computer. And so whenever you get a reminder, it'll then also appear on your phone as well. If you've logged into Google on your phone, then it can also use your default calendar that's inbuilt into your phone. So if you just stay logged in on Google on your phone, then there's no need for you to download the Google Calendar app, because Google will just use the built-in calendar that you have on your phone.